Hey guys, and welcome back to Will It Work, the new Faeria series on this channel that covers the jankiest, meme-driven decks you'll see on the casual ladder. I'm not brave enough to play this on ranked. Saying that, I did actually play my green-yellow Avengers in Become a God this week, but I was pretty confident with it actually. It's quite a fun deck, I really enjoy it, and I did a few modifications and it actually turned out to be really good. So green-yellow Avengers might have a place on the ladder, but this deck on the other hand, as you can see, not so much. This is blue-yellow Krog OTK. That's right, you've heard it, Krog OTK. The whole game plan with this deck is to play a control game until you can get a Krog down in the middle, right in front of your orb, chuck 2 Tiki Pipers on it, Gabrian Enchant, Grappling Hook, and then shoot them for one shot. Now, you don't have to rely on this strategy in order to win with this deck. It does have powerful cards in it, but the dream is to win with Krog in that manner. And I don't know how this deck's going to perform. I've been playing a few games of it. It's actually won a game, but it wasn't down to Krog. I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do with the build and how much land I want to invest. We also have Yakapult as a backup as well, so if Krog gets eaten by a Frogify or something like that, we can just use the Yakapult instead and use the Pipers on that card, and then enchant that to deal massive amounts of damage. So let's get into the matches and see how this very strange deck will perform. Alright guys, into our first match. Now I'd like to get Sturdy Shell in my opening hand. There's not much point in getting Krog's dinner because Krog does cost 4 mountains. Actually, Ground Shaker's pretty good as well. Ground Shaker, Sturdy Shell, Tiki Piper is also pretty good. But I want to build towards Krog as quickly as possible. Now do I just go for the Piper anyway? No, I don't want to reveal that. That's the secret, guys. The secret is the OTK, using the Pipers to power up the Krog and cause all sorts of problems. Brute's not too bad here. We can use the Mountain here, play the Ground Shaker, and that will also allow us to clear the Brute if it doesn't have a Gift of Steel. But it probably will. They always had the answer. You have to expect the worst. But this actually indicates to me there isn't an answer just yet. Oh wait, there is. Very interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what my opponent was playing around there. And Sturdy Shell actually a really good pickup here. So now we could see the desert into Kaleem's training. Into a Fanatic if this is my variant of the red-yellow burn. Because Flashwind does cost free. Well, it costs free deserts if you want to use it here. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I could just enchant this and make sure I get some damage. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go for an enchant on the shell. This is just playing it safe. So I'm playing around the Kaleem's training on its own. If there's a Flashwind involved, no, I do have the option. He has the option here to move and kill my Sturdy Shell, but it's lining up for that Garadan in hand. So both the Ground Shaker and the Sturdy Shell have enough attack now to make sure this dies to Garadan as a follow-up play. And he's just going to move up. Okay. Okay, we'll take our Mountain in the middle. So Mountain in the middle is required in order to get the Krog combo off. I will just collect here, and I'll see what happens. I'm assuming this is just going to clear this. Another Gift of Steel on the Brute is going to be a problem simply because I have planned towards a Garadan cleared in order to answer this on the follow-up. And the triple mountains and deserts and all that sort of stuff indicates to me this is a Scourge Flame Spectre deck. So now we need to draw Firestorm. Firestorm is the way we beat this now. Can we clear both creatures, which is pretty good. There it is. Feels good, guys. We don't need any more lakes, so we go for another mountain here. And that's going to give us plenty of breathing room. We're collecting. We've killed the biggest threat. The biggest threat so far, the Shedding Brute with the 2 Gift of Steels. If that hit my orb, that would be very, 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 very bad. But fortunately, it didn't. We're at 18 life, so we have plenty of time to set up this OTK combo. Although Krog has to live for a turn, ideally, to set it up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Ground Shaker coming down. Into Firebomb? Oh, double ciphers. Okay. That's absolutely fine. Another Firestorm. We're going to move here in order to challenge the Ground Shaker. And then we can take... I can take a forest here, so I don't really need to do that just yet. Maybe we just take Faeria and pass. I guess we could get the Yakapult down and just start using this as a way to apply pressure. Yakapult just such a good win condition right now. Lots of decks are using it, especially dual color, tricolor decks. The Skywhale used to be the win condition, but now Yakapult has taken its place. And to be honest, I much prefer Yakapult as a win condition over Skywhale. It just feels a bit more fair, well, at least in my opinion. Now we can actually use Tiki Piper here to increase the life of Garadan as a way to keep it alive when we hit that Ground Shaker. Unless a Fanatic comes down. It's going to be the case, so we're going to see a trade. So Yakapult's not going to get us any Faeria, but we're going to be able to put 2 damage here and just put a Yak in range of this Fanatic. I really do wish I could, yeah, I really wish I could get Gemshell Tortoise down. You know what, I'm just going to do it, guys. I know this isn't the dream, right? Getting the Krog down. But this is pretty good. Sometimes you just have to go for the win condition. And the alternate win condition, which is the Yakapult. The hand didn't really line up for the Krog play because we didn't draw the grappling hook or the Krog's dinner, and we didn't really have time to set it up. That was the problem. We didn't have the time to set it up because of the red yellow burn. A very big problem. So Scourge Flame can't be played unless it's like +1 Scourge Flame kill my 2/2. And now just Firestorm. Might just stick a Grimguard in front. Stick a Grimguard in front and just wait. Might just throw in the towel. There's a 9/9 Yakapult here. If this is a Brigand, I can just Firestorm. Unfortunately, not a Brigand. So there's the grappling hook. I'm just wondering if I Firestorm at this point. Because Firestorm stops double collection. I think so. I think Firestorm's absolutely fine. Because now my opponent's Faeria starved and I can set up lethal with the Yakapult. The thing with this deck is, the chances of pulling the Krog OTK off is quite slim. If I do manage to pull it off this game, I'd be very this episode. I'd be very surprised, but I don't think a lot of players are gonna expect it. It's not gonna be expected at all. And there we have it, and this is gonna be the first win. No Krog, but very, very solid Yakapult winning the match for us. But Krog, he's happy nonetheless. He'll take any win he can get. But there we have it. Game number 1 in the bag. Let's get into the next one. Alright guys, into another match. Could keep the Piper actually. It does set up an early harvester. I haven't tried keeping Piper as the early harvester simply because this is a cheeky way for me to set up my win condition. If I just play Forest into Piper, well then again I need 2 Forests down, right, to set it up. So I guess I should get an early Forest down anyway. You know, I could actually put Skywhale in this deck, now that I think about it, if I need to gear up for 2 Pipers. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So another red deck. Okay, let's be friends. I'm happy to be friends. This deck wasn't my original idea. This is actually a deck a player named Salugi tried out a very, very long time ago, and I was thinking of a deck to play this week, and I remembered this deck. I was thinking, who made some interesting decks back in the day? And Salugi came up with some very cool concepts. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try and build a modern version of the Krog OTK deck, because back then it was a Free Wishes deck. But Free Wishes, not as good as it once was. And Gemshell Tortoise, absolutely amazing card. It's such a powerful card that fits this color combination. So we could just go for Ground Shaker now. Or we could just tutor out Krog's dinner. Tutor out Krog with the dinner. And that means we can take an easy windfall next turn. But the problem is, like, the Piper really gives away a lot. That's why I don't like to play it as an early harvester. But sometimes you're just going to have to, because you can't completely rely on Krog. That's why Yakapult's a great backup plan. Or maybe Yakapult is the main win condition and Krog's a backup plan. It's hard to say. Goes for a lake. Goes for a windfall. Goes for an Archon. Okay. So we can double windfall. I think I'm just going to apply pressure to this for now. Because even if it gains the power up from turning on the 7-cost card, these will still trade, and I get to keep my Piper as a collector. I added 1 Emperor's Command in just as a cheeky bit of healing, just in case you run into burn. But also, it's a very cool card to pick up off the Gemshell Tortoise. And it's very strong at the moment, especially with all the libraries and stuff that are in the game. So Garadan, not that much of a punish, really. As Archon decides to run, and then there's a Firestorm follow-up. Which is a little unfortunate, but it's not... I don't know, it is pretty bad, actually, if there was a Firestorm in hand. But I think you just Firestorm now, right? There was a Firestorm. Bold Bargainer. It's the Baron, okay. Interesting. Now I find a Garadan of my own. This is an interesting one. Because I do have access to Emperor's Command as a way to reduce this card's life by 1, and that allows Garadan to clear this out, and it will allow me to finish off the Baron. I feel like I have to do it. Yeah, I think I have to do that. I can go double windfall first, at least. Get a bit more Faeria to work with. So hopefully I pick up like a Windfall or something like that, or like a Firestorm. Firestorm would be pretty good. Oh, Gemshell Tortoise, I'll take that. So now we can do this. Sturdy Shells. One of the worst things to pick up off the Gemshell Tortoise, and probably maybe a reason I should take them out. Basically because they're quite bad, but I wanted an early harvester that benefited from enchant. Oh, we both picked up a Gemshell Tortoise. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh, it's not too bad now because we have the enchant. I don't really want to lose my Gemshell Tortoise to this Archon because I want this to kill my opponent's one. So maybe I need to do a little bit of a shimmy. I think we just trade here. I could go for the draw for the Firestorm, I guess, but I feel like I'd just rather set up the Garadan. Sorry, the Garadan, the Yakapult. Or maybe I move, shell, enchant to draw and go from there. Let's do that first. So I still have, so I want to make enchant for my Yakapult. I think that's fine. I think that's fine, actually. Yeah, let's do this first. Alright, we're going to do this instead. Yeah, let's get a Yakapult back. Why am I playing against all these serious decks for? Where are the memes? I'm playing casual here. Now, Archon might take the clear on the Sturdy Shell and just get the value, which is fine because then my Gemshell Tortoise lives and has the opportunity to at least challenge my opponent's Gemshell Tortoise in the double collection spot. But my opponent is definitely ahead. That's what I'm mounting in the middle. Is that a Battler? No, it's an Archon and a Battler. Or not. It's a Bargainer. That's absolutely fine. Because I can Bargainer into a Tortoise. Well, I can Tortoise myself. Let's move this here. Let's play the Tortoise. I'm not gonna be able to afford it. Take a lake and we'll go for the Sturdy. So we'll try and slot the Sturdy into double collection. Look, that was a pretty amazing Gemshell Tortoise, to be honest. That was really good. Clears my Yakapult. Shaker. So really filling up the board here to get punished by the Firestorm. That's great. I will probably just kill the Gemshell Tortoise, which is a little unfortunate, but it's to protect my Sturdy Shell. Oh wow, my opponent will get very punished here for this. Feels good, guys. Take a draw. Oh, another sturdy shells. Sweet. So we have a follow-up sturdy shell now to start collecting. Because that's going to cost me 6. I get free Faeria. Hopefully I double collect. And then I can go like double Firestorm, wipe the board, play another sturdy shell on this side, and then try collecting. Play it. Play it. Oh. Maybe not play that. Okay, so I'm going to have to enchant now. A little unfortunate. Yeah, there's not much of a way around that, unfortunately. But my opponent, hopefully that's just like an ogre dance. That's gonna be really bad if it's like a gem shell tortoise. But if that's like an ogre dance, I'll be in a really good position. Maybe it's like a divine guardian. Hopefully it's not a ground shaker or gem shell tortoise. An Archon, anything that can really apply pressure to me. If it's just a small creature or like an event, I'll be okay. It's a ground shaker. Goes into double collection, doesn't decide to try and finish me off. It's pretty good for me. Ogre Battler. Oh my goodness. Am I gonna have a Tiki? I'm gonna have to Tiki this to clear it. Oh no, this is not going well. This is not going well at all. And I've got barely any cards left in my deck. So the Krog OTK is out of the question. We only have one Tiki Piper left. But Yakapult's a pretty good answer, actually. Could gear it for double Firestorm. Oh, I have some choices to make now. So I can set up the Yakapult. And then I have, I could even use like grappling hook to shoot this, and then I can move my sturdy shell onto this tile and have that 9 free, but my opponent's probably just going to double neutral, and I'm not going to be able to answer that. So I feel like the best line now is just to pass, go for the windfall on the follow-up, and then double Firestorm. So let's do it. Do I start easing this over to this side? Yeah, let's go for a wander, little Piper. Gonna try and get you over to this well. But my opponent does gain a lot of Faeria, so my best bet now is that my opponent overextends again, just plays a lot of creatures, and I can finish it off. This is probably going to be a battler. That was a Bargner. Okay, that's great. So opponent's overextending once again. If it's a Barbarian, oh, it doesn't go for that. Okay. Got the windfall. So the Bargainer is interesting. It depends what the Bargainer hit. If the Bargainer hit something like a Battler, it's a bit of a problem. But hit a windfall, so I'm going to put my opponent back up to a lot of Faeria. What's this going to be? A tortoise? Probably just another tortoise. Yeah. In a position where I can't use the grappling hook. Is that Hellfire? Oh no. But my shell lived. I am in a lot of trouble. So this is a Hellfire variant. Okay. Into the Firestorm, and that is going to be game. So my opponent just played a better Gem Shell Tortoise deck than me. Less memes, more serious. But I'm pretty happy with how that game went. It was a tough one. Like, if my opponent didn't overextend, and I didn't get that good Firestorm, I would have lost earlier. So I was kind of clutching at straws anyway. But yeah, it was a pretty good game. I'm pretty happy with how that went. Let's get into our next one. Alright guys, into another match. I mean, the deck's okay. It's not great. And I haven't really pulled off the Krog OTK. Depending if my opponent's playing green, if I come against a green opponent, I'm just gonna completely try hard for the Krog win. But this hand is pretty terrible. It's an awful hand. Gonna be another mountain. So many mountains today. Alright, let's just build towards Krog. I don't want to pay 12 for Krog. I'd rather use the dinner. Into a Brigand. Okay. Sturdy Shell. Fantastic. Set up our early collector. Start harvesting some Faeria. Hopefully we'll pick up dinner, because playing Krog against like a mono red is really strong. Because it's very difficult to kill this. And I do have enchants in hand, so Krog should be able to kill everything. And then I can revive it later with Krog's dinner. As another, like, Krog's dinner has a lot going on when it comes to the card itself. You know, you can use it as a way to reduce the cost of Krog. You can use it as a way to tutor Krog from your deck and get it to your hand, but you can also use it to resurrect Krog later on. So it's not actually too bad to use Krog as a card if you can get it down. Now, some matchups you just don't want to play Krog just because Frogify, Last Nightmare, it's not going to be worthwhile. But in a matchup like this, I'm quite happy to play Krog as some form of defender. So yeah, I can get on board with this. I'd like to pre-enchant him, ideally. Yeah, we'll just play it down now. It's got 12 life. It's gonna take quite a lot to get rid of it. It's gonna take Gift of Steel, Ground Shaker, or like Flame Burst, Ground Shaker. And my opponent might be thinking, oh, I don't want to reduce those very powerful cards in my opponent's hand by 7. Enchant, Yakapult, Tiki Piper. But my opponent doesn't know that. My opponent doesn't know that I've got absolute garbage in my hand. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Bomb Slinger. Bomb Slinger. Emperor's Command. Hit it. And then probably Cyber's Wrath. But yeah, this was actually a very easy answer to this card. Okay. Huh, I guess we just lose Krog. I think Krog's fate has been decided. We use the enchant to enchant the Krog, and then we can Firestorm on the follow-up. It's not the best, but it's definitely something at least. I'll play the Sturdy Shell here as a defender, so if an Axe Grinder comes down, I can use the enchant to clean this up. And I can even use the Piper, so I can Piper this, enchant it. It'll still retain some of its life and stay alive, and then I can finish off whatever threat comes down. So City Shell in this position can actually do a lot of work. Ground Shaker, yep, that's fine. I can kill a Ground Shaker. Get this Piper down. Oh wait, and that's pretty good. We've got the Gem Shell Tortoise next turn. If I played a Yakapult, will I still be able to afford it? I'd rather just get Gem Shell Tortoise at this point because I don't want to move the Sturdy Shell. Sturdy Shell's just gonna stay here as some kind of defender. Gonna go for the Firestorm. That's not too bad, you know, because the Sturdy Shell is still gonna live, gonna be able to double collect, and I can get the Gem Shell Tortoise down next turn. Yep, take that collection. Tortoise. Double Firestorm. It's pretty beautiful. Let's take +1 and we'll pass. Retreats, which indicates to me there's no Gift of Steel and no follow-up damage. +1, Ground Shaker. Yep, and now we can use the Tiki Piper as a way to preserve the life on the Gem Shell Tortoise. Be in a pretty good position because then we can set up the Yakapult. Now I could have double Firestormed as an alternative, but I'd rather keep, while I have creatures on the board, I'd rather use them as a way to answer problems. Because then the double Firestorm might become in handy later when I fall behind. So if I do fall behind, you know, I can clear them out. So I might actually use one Firestorm here, or I might just use the Emperor's Command. I'm not sure. I could just enchant at this point. So yeah, let's collect. And this is my last enchant. The Krog OTK is just a dream right now. Okay, we'll chill. Bit vulnerable to Bomb Slinger on my Gem Shell Tortoise. But it's not too bad because now the Grimguard's in a position where it's threatened by the Yakapult, so it can't move down and double collect. Gift of Steel. Ooh, Windfall. Draw. We'll go for one Firestorm. Just so I can kill it. Just make life a little easier. Do I go dinner into Krog? I don't see why not. Yeah, let's just get Krog back. How's it going, Krog? So you don't always have to OTK, I guess. Against mono red, Krog is a pain in the backside. I don't get huge value from Krog in this deck, unfortunately. Just because I have a lot of low cost cards, it's kind of it's like anti-synergy almost, but he's one of the highest life creatures in the game. It's probably more realistic to go for a Deepwood Grizzly kind of deck or something like that for this kind of OTK build, but it's not Krog at the end of the day. That's what we want to see. We want to see Krog. Yep. Oh, we can't do that. Oh my goodness. I do feel sorry for a mono red player in this position. Even though, like, Krog's first appearance was a little sad because he didn't get to do that much, but he did line up that board clear. Even if it cost me an enchant to buff him up to 2, it just forced my opponent to use a lot of resources. Wait, did I have lethal? I don't think so. I think I'm one off. Could have Krog, but I'm going to keep Krog alive. Why not? He is the king after all. There we have it. Krog helped win that game. He didn't win the game, but he helped win the game. I can be happy knowing Krog assisted. You know, he wants to get involved. He's a pretty emotional guy. He likes to get involved in games. But there we have it, a win on the board thanks to Krog. Let's get into another match. Alright guys, another match. Can Krog win a game for us? We'll find out. It's pretty difficult, as you can see, to get it all set up. You need a lot of you need 4 mountains, 2 lakes, and 2 forests. If you want to go for the 1-turn kill combo, because you're going to need another slot to play the Tiki Piper. Unless you Emperor's Command your own Tiki Piper in order to set up another one, which is a little extreme, but we never know. You might have to do it if you want to get that 1-turn kill off. As far as will this deck work, I think it works. I just don't think the OTK aspect works. It's not a terrible deck necessarily. It's actually pretty decent so far. But yeah, I don't feel it fulfills the brief I gave it of OTK. It's ambitious, very, very ambitious, but I feel the deck can hold its own because it still has some powerful combos in it, in the Gemshell Tortoise, you know, the Firestorms. It's got some good cards. Alright, so we're just going to build mountains and just get Krog down. Just get Krog down as early as possible. We'll play Krog next turn. Grimguard, okay, so this is some red-green salamander kind of deck, I would imagine. Here he is. You got Krogged. And this is where he gets Crystal Flowered. The saddest times. And then I draw the Emperor's Command because he played the Crystal Flower here. And then I'm just like, yes, Krog is ready to OTK. The dream is alive. It's an interesting mountain. And it's a Grimguard. Okay. So we can go for the Firestorm. It's pretty good. Because, especially if Krog reduces the cost of it. I can go Lake here, move up, hit the Grimguard, and go from there. I don't want this card to be hit by Krog. Let's do it. Feels bad. Well played. I've played Krog twice, and my opponents who were playing red decks are just like, oh no, how am I dealing with this? Yep. Salamander? Yep. That's to be expected. Gift of Steel. No, Elderwood Embrace. That's a pretty bulky Brigand. That's for sure. Well, I'm pretty happy with Krog's performance right here. We'll take some value on this, actually. I was hoping this would get reduced. But nope, it didn't get reduced at all. Feels Krogman. And we want to resurrect the Krog, that's the problem. So let's just pass and hope RNG goes in our favor and we hit this or this off the clear on Krog. I should have maybe moved this here to line up a Firestorm play. Oh no, it's playing safe. Krog has some of the worst targets ever in this deck. Oh no, not Runin. Another faction leader coming down. Grand Shaker, alright. Guess I could Krog. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I want some Krog action. It's Krog time. Big bad Krog. $16 Krog. Absolutely massive. So we can kill the Runin next turn. Our opponent will be able to replay it. But I'm hoping I'm going to have enough gas to keep it in line. Firestorm's going to be pretty strong here because I think my opponent... Oh no, unless there's another Salamander. Salamander does make things very difficult. Nope, Brigand's great. So we can Firestorm. Playing around my opponent trying to block me here. Take the clear on this. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Finally. Yeah, pretty good. So Krog could potentially OTK now. If I can get Krog here and pick up the grappling hook, could be in a pretty good position. Krog's set up. He's ready to go. Runig is going to go into a more defensive position. That's fair enough. There's an enchant. Alright, alright. Enchant's pretty good. I feel like we just keep drawing cards now. I just ignore this. I can go Gemshell Tortoise first. Double Firestorm, pretty good. Take a draw. Yakapult. Yeah, let's just wait. Let's just keep drawing cards now. Let's try and get that kill. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. Massive Krog. In a great situation. Now, I did originally put Frogify in this list, but I felt like there were too many land complications. Like, I just felt like I needed too many lands to do stuff. So in the end, I decided against it. Ah, he's playing around it. Feels bad. Take a draw. Guess we could double Firestorm because my opponent will have no Faeria left. Yep, double Firestorm's very good here. Well, I'm still going to lose this, which is a little sad, but that's fine. I can enchant, actually. So we can do this instead. Yep, and then we clear. And then Krog just waits, I guess. He just sits there. He's just sitting on his throne waiting for Grappling Hook to show up. Come on, Grappling Hook. You can do it. It's the last two cards on my deck. Takes a mountain. Come on, Grappling Hook. Now I do have OT. No, I don't. I don't have OTK. No, I don't have it. Ignore me. Ignore me. This might get Firestorm, so I'm just going to set up a Sturdy Shell. I could actually set up a Sturdy Shell this side. Because Sturdy Shell can move into double collection here if my opponent doesn't take lands. Goes for Runin. As to be expected. And does take the land to block. Alright. Draw. 4, 8. I can add 8 life, so actually that is going to be an OTK. Alright. Because I can enchant. So let's get these, let's get a windfall out of hand. Let's get a ground shaker here ready to finish this off. Unless that gets flame bursted. Maybe I just wait, actually. I'm in a pretty good position. Yeah, we don't need a windfall again because I don't want to reveal to my opponent I have another windfall. We're getting close. We're getting very close to the OTK. Unless my opponent just slams something in front of his orb now. Something here is not too bad. Come on! We want the grappling hook. Give it to us! We don't ask for much. What can I just use in my hand? I can stick a Yakapult here. Alright. Let's Gemshell Tortoise first. Oh no, I stuck it on the forest. So I'm gonna have to wait a turn. Oh, mistakes were made, guys. Mistakes were made. Ah, no, I messed that up. Ah, that was a big mistake. I should have Gemshell. So what I should have done instead, I should have Gemshell Tortoised, because then I would have had the land. Guess a replay rune in. Can just put it in front of my Krog. That is an option. Just goes for the middle. Which is fine, I guess. I guess I can still OTK with Krog. Let's play it here. Let's take the Yakapult down. Yeah, mistakes were made. I had lethal. I mean, I had no idea I'd draw the grappling hook off the Gemshell Tortoise, but I could have went for it if I'd planned the end of that turn better. You know, making sure I didn't cover the forest, making sure I didn't use my card draw, playing the Gemshell Tortoise first, and then I could have went Forest Tiki Tiki into the enchant. Come on, give it to Krog. Let Krog have the win. Draw. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Yakapult. Gonna play the Battle Rager. You got Krogged. So I did do it! I did finally pull it off! The Krog 1-turn kill. And here we have it, he's gonna finish the game, 18 damage to the orb. Well played, Krog. And there we have it. It did happen, it did work. So, did this deck work? I don't know, I'm not sure. Let's have a think about it. And that wraps up this episode of Will It Work? And did it work? I think it did, to be honest. I feel this deck is actually very good against red and green decks. Against yellow and blue, which I didn't really run into apart from that Gemshell Tortoise deck, is going to have big problems. Frogify is going to be an issue, Mirror Phantasm, removal like Last Nightmare and Choking Sands are also going to be a problem, but I can resurrect Krog with Krog's Dinner, so he isn't permanently removed from the game. The transform effects are the bigger problems. And I did actually get the Krog OTK off in the end. I felt like I did make that misplay, which I could have played to my odds there, going for that Gemshell Tortoise, setting up the extra forest and going for double forest into the Krog. Now, will this work on ladder? I don't know. I don't think I will play this deck come next week on Become a God. Who knows? You never know with me. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date when this content goes live. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this series. I'm definitely enjoying it myself. I love the memes. I've been having a lot of fun with these crazy decks. I have another deck ready for next week, actually. I was going to play it today. But I did remember Salugi's Krog deck, so I decided to build that instead, or at least expand on it since its original list, which ran the Free Wishes before it got nerfed. And Krog still cost 2 mountains back then, I believe. I don't think it was a 4 mountain card because Krog's Dinner hadn't been released at that point. But I feel this is a fun deck. Be sure to give it a go. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And until next time, take care and go out there and just Krog some fools, you know, get Krogged and enjoy the blue-red Krog OTK.